Good morning, students. Welcome to Banking Operations and Management online class. Today we will discuss the topic Indian financial system. A financial system is a set of institutional arrangement through which financial surpluses are mobilized from units, generating surplus income and transferring them to others in need of them. Means the main purpose of the financial system is to fulfill the needs of the people. Okay, and what kind of need? Need means in the terms of money. Okay, and it includes different markets, different institutions, different instruments, different services, and different mechanisms which influence the generation of savings, investments, capital formation, and growth. And these all are related with the money. Because when people need money, they want money to fulfill their personal needs, their financial need. They want some uh, मीडियम एक मीडियम की उनको रिक्वायरमेंट होगी through which they fulfill their needs they like medium, like we can take the examples of banks, different institutions which help people to fulfill their needs in the terms of the money. Okay, so before learning about the financial system, we must learn about the Indian financial system. Means how financial system in India is work. When Indian financial system came in India, means what are the evolution? What is the evolution of Indian financial system? Okay, so for that purpose, we need to understand what are the evolution of financial system in India. So we all know that in the year 1947 we got independence, and before independence, there are some systems through which people fulfill their money needs. Okay, and they are not governed by the government. Okay, remember this. Those systems which fulfill the needs of the money of the people before the independence, they are not governed by the system. People actually fulfilling their needs through personal contacts, or through peoples who are much more rich in comparison to the poor people. So when we learn about the evolution of financial system in India, we first learn about the barter system. You can see on the present slide, there is a picture of two people, and there is a written there is a barter system. There's a two people, they are exchanging things between each other. Okay, there's a woman and a man. And man is indicated this woman needs or so because she have uh, this she is that person. The system is giving in of money. So the in of any access, any common okay, and common medium of exchange is a barter. So barter in a is a common transaction. Common like this time we sell anything. Common what transaction? What's the common medium? Okay, there is no but that uh, yes, student. Now am I audible to all of you? Drop your answer in message box. Okay. Let me share the slide again. Yes, okay. Yes. So in a barter system, we can say there is a no common measurement or no common medium of exchange between two peoples, right? Like goods is in the common, because common mission they are update at system. Uh, so disadvantage is a need for instance. It's all about, so we can this full advantages disadvantage system for the nation. Okay, because advantage of system is for, so he lets lend to the need. Yes, now I am audible. Yes, Karshita, am I audible? Yes, okay. One second. One second. Yes. So, money lenders are those people who are people at the rate of interest. Okay. So here, because money is given to the people for the purchase and sale of goods and services. So here, the money lenders means are the people who traded in money and work on commission basis. Okay, because they are providing the money, so they are charging the commissions. Okay, and basically they borrowed money from the market at the lower rate and used to lend money at the higher rate, okay, as per the need. and demand of the money in the market. So what they are doing, they are borrowed money from the market at a lower rate, and they are lending the money at a higher rate as per the according of the need and demand of the money in the market. So money lender could be considered as first stage of functioning of financial system to come into existence. Why? Because in the money lenders, through the money lenders people's actual financial system started in India. So you can say that the actual evaluation of financial system in India has started with the money lenders, because in the barter system there is no medium of exchanging of money. In the barter system, people are exchanging goods and services for fulfilling their needs. Okay, so actual the evaluation of financial system in India came through the money lenders. Okay, and that's why it is called as a first stage of functioning of financial system to come into existence. Okay, and here deposits, savings were mobilized and were used for meeting business requirements also. Okay, so these are the two stages of evaluation of financial system in India, but main and the first stage of evaluation of financial system in India came through the money lenders. Now, because money lending system is in the hand of the some kind of peoples who borrowed money from the market at a lower rate, and then they lend money at the higher rate according to the need and demand of the money in the market. So that's why there are lots of disadvantages, because people here, money lenders, charging commissions and the rate of interest as per their requirements. Okay, not as per the government rules and regulations. So this is the basic main disadvantages of the money lenders, and because of this disadvantages, chit fund financial system came in India. Okay, we all aware about the chit fund company. Even in present time, still chit fund companies are in the existence, and we all know what is chit funds, and we all know about the disadvantages of chit funds also. Okay, so chit funds, what are the chit funds? And we can say the chit funds are like they are they are taking people's money. Okay, they are basically, what they are doing, they are taking money from the peoples, and they promise to peoples that they save their money and give them the higher rate of interest as comparison to bank or other financial institutions. Okay, so because they are not banking, they are not doing the banking services, they are not the banks, they are taking the money from the people, and they are circulating this money. Okay, they are circulating this money to the one people to one another people according to their need and demand, and as per the investment, as per the saving, as per the amount of the money, they are giving the rate of interest. Okay, so here again disadvantages came, like there's no guarantee of fixed rate of interest, return of rate of interest. Okay, no guarantee of the security, no guarantee of the savings. Okay, because chit fund companies are not banks, so we cannot trust on them 100%, right? So because of beside of disadvantages, there is a advantage of chit fund financial system, that the people who are saving their money through the chit fund, they can withdraw their money at any time according to their need and demand. Okay, so because of the disadvantage of chit fund, there is a need arises for the banking system. Okay, because now people from the barter system to money lender then to chit fund, they now people are requiring, they are demanding for the banking system, because they want to save their money in a secure hand, they want to lend money from the secure hands. Okay, why? Because they don't want to pay extra, or we can say higher rate of interest, right? So because of these three financial system disadvantages, like barter system, money lender, and chit fund, there's a arises of need of banking system. Okay, so what are the indigenous banking? So it under this system, along with distribution of loan at high rate as money lenders do. Okay, indigenous banking are doing, they are accepting deposits from the general public, right? So the problem of limited fund was overcome, and these money lender came to know as a indigenous banker. So we can say that, like whatever the money lenders are doing, they are giving the money to the needy people to fulfill their financial needs. So because they are charging the higher rate of interest, so because of this disadvantage, indigenous banking system arise, they came into India for the financial system purpose. So they are also giving they are also lending the money to people, but at a lower rate of interest, okay, as comparison to money lenders. And they are also taking deposits from the peoples, and they are promising them to give a certain rate of interest, return rate of interest, right? So we can say that the indigenous bankings are doing both things. They are depositing and they are withdrawing money. Okay, they are giving two options to the people. They can deposit their money, they can also withdraw their money, and they can also lend money from the indigenous bank at the we can say minimum rate of interest or lower rate of interest, right? So the major player of indigenous banking were like money lenders, like middlemen, etc., right? And who started accepting deposit along with the funding of money. So remember, student, we cannot say that indigenous banking are the pure banking system. They are actually we can say they are actually doing the banking system, but they are giving they are depositing, withdrawing, lending money at the lower rate of interest at comparison to money lenders. They are much more advanced and much more reliable as comparison to money lenders and chit fund, right? Now next is the cooperative societies. Okay, remember students, still in we don't have any banking system, right? First is barter system, then money lenders, then chit fund, then indigenous banking, then cooperative societies. Okay, so basically we are evaluating, or we can say that we are developing the financial system through the disadvantages of these financial system, like barter system, money lenders, chit funds, indigenous banking. Okay, so what are the cooperative societies? Cooperative societies means under this system, to have the control over the members, society was registered and society's fund was generated from the fees of the membership. So we can say that cooperative societies are what are they are doing. They are basically creating a member of peoples, group of peoples, which they are belonging to a same society, and they are offering them to provide them financial assistance, and for that financial assistance they are charging some fees for the membership purpose, for the development of the group. So for these fees, with the help of these fee systems, they fees charges, they are giving financial assistance. Okay, and we can say that the person who became the member of these cooperative societies, they enjoy the certain benefits. What are the benefits? Like recognition in the society. Okay, because we are now, you are the member of this cooperative society, so you can identify as the member of the society, right? So there is a recognition of in the society, right? Entertainment facilities, like these cooperative societies provide the clubs facilities and entertainment facilities. Okay, and also the main purpose of the cooperative society is to provide the loan facilities to the required peoples. Okay, the people, the member people who are in need of the financial assistance, who need money, who need loan. So cooperative society giving them the loan only to its members. Okay, so if you want to take the loan from the cooperative society, the first step is to become the member of the society, and for the membership they are charging some fees, and with the collection of these fees they are giving loan to the members. Okay, and they are these loans are given at the very lower rates, right? And as compared to the market interest rate, as compared to the money lenders, and as compared to the chit fund, as compared to the indigenous banking, right? There's no barter system now. Okay, barter system is now over. So cooperative society gives financial assistance to its members, and beside financial assistance, they also provide some other facilities like identification in the society, like entertainment facilities, and obviously the loan facilities and the financial assistance. But if you want to become the member of the cooperative society, the first step is to become the member and pay the membership fees. Okay. So and what will be the number of cooperative societies members? Okay, so there is no number of members. Okay, limit number कोई नहीं, there is no limit on number. कोई भी limitation नहीं है कि हमें 50 ही members रखने हैं या 60 रखने हैं. There is no limitation in the number of the members. It all depend upon how they are managing the number of people together. Okay. So you can comparison cooperative society with indigenous banking. So as comparison to indigenous banking, cooperative societies are much supported to its members. Okay, and because you are the cooperative society member, there is a feeling of or sense of security, because they are giving the loans to the financial assistance to the members. So and the rate of interest is much more lower as compared to the indigenous banking, because in the indigenous banking there are money lenders like sahukars, okay, like middlemen, they are giving the financial assistance. Okay, students, so you can see that from the fourth point, fourth is indigenous banking, then cooperative society. Now there is a rise of, or we can say there is a joint stock banks. Okay, now what are the joint stock banks? So joint stock banks means the joint work of banks, right? And what are the joint banks, joint stock banks? When we talk about the cooperative societies, so the objective of establishing cooperative society was driven by the political stand. Okay, so it was not beneficial for the growth of the business in the economy. So anyhow, cooperative society is helping to the members, but they are not contributing to the economic development. Okay, so for the development of the economy, we need some financial institutions that are governed by the government. Okay, so for that reason, for that purpose, joint stock banks were established. Okay, so joint stock banks are doing? Joint stock banks were established to accept a deposit from the people, and on the basis of these deposits they are providing loans to the people. Okay, and also they are promoting the agriculture, they are promoting the flow of currency in the country, because we are accepting deposit from the peoples, and we are giving to the we are giving loan to the people. So there is a flow, there was a flow of currency in the country, and also they are promising to develop the agriculture. I hope, students, you all remember about the 5-year plannings, where we discussed that the first 5-year planning was to promote the agriculture sector. Okay, right? So the joint stock banks are not only taking deposit from the peoples, they are also giving loans to the peoples. They are also encouraging the flow of currency in the country, and also they are developing the or we can say promoting the agriculture sector. Okay, and joint stock banks were also engaged in the other commercial activities. What are the other commercial activities which add the growth, or which we can say that required for the growth in the economy? Okay, and this is all about the joint stock banks. So as compared to barter system, money lender, chit fund, indigenous banking, cooperative societies, joint stock bank financial system purpose is to contribute in the economic system, because above 4 points or above 5 points are not contributing in the economic development. They are just fulfilling the need of the general people, financial need of the people. Okay, so the purpose of the joint stock bank, the main purpose of the joint stock bank is to develop the economy of the country and the flow, increase the flow of currencies in the country. Okay, now the next is consolidation. What is consolidation? Consolidation means we can say that we all know that before independence there is no provision for the banking system. All foreigners, the East Indian Company they are making the rules and regulation for the financial development, for the financial purpose. So after the independence, we required a bank. Okay, so the government of that time said that there is a need of bank, we should establish a bank, and we should nationalize the bank, those banks which are in the time of before the independence era. Okay, there are some banks before the independence era. So after the independence, the government of India said that we need to nationalize the bank, because now we need the full authorization of banks in our hand, right? The government of that time, they said that we need a full power or full authorization of bank in our hand. Okay, so consolidation, under the consolidation financial system, the whole period between 1913 to 1917, then 1920 to 1955, the whole period was the nationalization of the bank, the establishment of the bank, mainly the development of the banking sector. Okay, so the consolidation financial system in India, the main period from 1913 to 1955, the purpose of the government is to establish the banking system, mainly the nationalization of the bank and establishment of the SBI and the Madras Bank, the Bank of Kolkata. We all studied about this. What are the Bank of Kolkata? How they are nationalized? Okay, so these are comes under the consolidation. So from consolidation point, now the financial system in India is basically on the in the road of the banking system, right? So here from the 7th point, we can say the actual evaluation of financial India in India was started through the banking system. Now the barter system is over. Now the money lender is over. Now chit fund system is over, indigenous banking system over, now cooperative societies is over. Still cooperative societies in the in between the people, but not there is no surety of your saving of your deposit. So okay, so from the 7th point as consolidation, we started evaluation of financial system in India through the banking system. Now the next is commercial banks. Okay, we all know what is the commercial bank. We all know what are the purpose of the commercial bank. So the basically we can say the concept of commercial bank came into existence to support trade and commerce. Now why trade and commerce? Because now government want to do the development of the economy. Okay, now the government purpose is to do the financial system, doing the financial system for which support the development of the economy of the country. Okay, so we can say that it was realized that the economy of the country depend upon the growth of the business houses. We all know that the economy of a country will be developed when the business of the country or that country will develop. Okay, जब तक business नहीं develop होगा तब तक हमारी economy जो है वो develop नहीं होगी. And for the development of the business, there are need of support from the government to the trade and commerce. Okay, so for that purpose, commercial banks were established. Now the next point is nationalization. Nationalization. What is a nationalization? Nationalization means the banking system, the financial system should be in the hand of the government, right? Nationalization is very important for the for the evaluation of financial system for any country. In the absence of nationalization, we cannot trust our financial institutions for saving, for depositing, for lending monies. Okay, so government of India decided to nationalize all banks in India because to take the trust from the peoples. Okay, now the government of India encouraging peoples to do depositing in the banks, to withdrawing their money, to lending the money from the banks. So for that reason, banks should be nationalized. Okay. The next is investment banks. What are the investment banks? The investment banks' purpose is to do the investments from the peoples, do the depositing, giving them the promising interest rates, right? As security means whenever people wants to save their money, they want a security because it is not possible for people to save their money in the home. Okay, because the money is in the form of currency, in the form of coins. So time to time, governments are changing the format of the currencies and coins. So it is very beneficial for people to deposit their money in the banks. So what are the purpose of the nationalization investment banks? The investment banks' purpose is to do the deposit from the people, giving them security, giving them safety, also providing them interest on their deposits, and anyhow they are these all support the economic of the development. Okay, and for the investment bank, nationalization is very important. Okay, the next is development financial institutions, those institutions which help businesses, industries to grow. Okay, so those institutions are known as development financial institutions, and these financial institutions give financial assistance to businesses and industries for their development, because the economy of the country will develop with the growth of the business. Okay, now the insurance companies again is providing you the insurance, the security for your life, for your goods, for your commodity, for your business, for your industries. And now in present time there are lots of insurance companies, mainly the LIC. Okay, Life Insurance Corporation is providing the insurance for your life, but for what about the other things? So they are general insurance companies, right? So these companies main motive is to provide the insurance to your life, to your commodities, your businesses, your industries. Okay. The next is a stock exchange. What are the stock exchange? Means whenever you want to invest your money, or you want to take some services from the market. Okay, so these stock exchange companies or these stock exchange help you to take these services. There are some specialized financial institutions. These financial institutions give financial assistance to specialized services, right? And then universal banking. Universal banking means all over. When you want to do the banking services, you want to take the banking services at the international level, the universal banking will help all these things. So these are the 15 systems which help the evaluation of financial system, especially in the terms of India. So you can find out that after the seventh point, the consolidation, the actual financial system of in India was started to the banking system. So in present time, we all know that financial systems are, or we can say financial services or financial needs are fulfilling through the different bankings, different institutions, not to the individual person, but to the businesses also, because the purpose of the government for the development of the economy is to support the trade and commerce and also the peoples. And for the peoples, for fulfilling the need of the peoples, what governments do, they are doing deposits, they are doing saving through the banking system and other financial institutions. Okay, students. So I hope you all understand what are the evaluation financial system in India. And that's all for today. Thank you.